But one thing that is the brain is afraid of having this dear coping mechanism taken away without anything to put in its place. It's saying, this has been my thing for so long. This has been my comfort. It's been my boyfriend. I spend money on it. I have lost social connections. I don't date because of this. This is really important to me. How am I going to manage without it?
Hello and welcome. I am Coach Castle, a certified biomechanics expert, nutritionalist, and efficiency coach. Subscribe to this channel to learn the most efficient ways to maximize your muscle growth and recovery, enhance your body, and advance your mind, all using the latest science. Welcome to Castle's Corner.
It's never my job to judge anyone. It's not my job to judge a smoker. I happen to love smokers. Smokers are some of my favorite clients because I was a smoker. Here's what I know. Smoking was more than just smoking. It was a way of taking a pause when I was having a conversation with someone. It was a way of ending an art session. When I was finished with what I was doing, sculpting or whatever, I'd light up a cigarette. It was a coping mechanism. Instead of just going off the bend, I would pick up a cigarette, take a pull in. What does that remind you of? That's breathing. That is activating the vagus nerve. My job is to understand what smoking did for you, what it does for you, why it is a self-soothing mechanism, and to separate you from the harm of that while finding something else that will soothe you that is not harmful to your health. So I've worked with a lot of bartenders and I'll say, do you have a bar straw? Oh yeah, we got them all over the place. Well, don't pick up that cigarette. Pick up a bar straw and stick it in your mouth. You can mimic the motions. Or I'll have them breathe. I'll say, take that pen, put it in your mouth. Draw in, blow out. What did you just do? You took that deep breath in. You gave a diaphragmatic release of breath. You activated your vagus nerve, which is your reset. But here's the thing, along with resetting your body, which is why people say I need a cigarette to calm me down, you're also pumping poison into your body. And the poison is just wreaking havoc on your body. It's making you anxious. It's making you sick. So here's the dual thing about smoking that's so horrible is, on one hand, because it's using your body's natural autonomic system of reset via activating the vagus nerve to calm you down, it's also just killing you and you feel it. This is something that once the brain can understand that you can separate that from, that this is really killing you, then it becomes your partner in helping find another way to occupy your hands, to change state from one room to the other or one project to the other, to manage your anger by simply breathing and not picking up a cigarette, and most importantly, doing something with your hands until you're far enough away from the smoking. It could be a week or 2 weeks or a month away to where you don't need these anymore. You don't need the props. You don't need the straw. You don't need whatever it is. But one thing that the brain is afraid of having this dear coping mechanism taken away without anything to put in its place. It's saying, this has been my thing for so long. This has been my comfort. It's been my boyfriend. I spend money on it. I have lost social connections. I don't date because of this. This is really important to me. How am I going to manage without it? So it's important that when you're separating people through hypnosis from smoking, that you also give the brain something else.
That's really important. I mean, I've helped people quit smoking just by being mindful. I mean,
right.
I shouldn't say just by being mindful. I mean, being mindful all day is very hard to do. But,
right.
I mean, if you just think about, what does this taste like? What does this do to me? People react to me differently. People, generally speaking, when it comes to smoking, it's a habit. It's usually a social one. And the excuses they come up with, generally speaking, have to do with losing friends or not being funny, or people not liking them, or not having that break, like you said, not getting the,
right.
But there's a million ways
to do that. An emotional habit too.
Yeah, there's a million ways to do that.
Instead of expressing your feelings, you pick up a cigarette. Because you, again, want that breath. But what you don't realize is that you can have that breath. You can have that release. You can have that reset without pumping poison into your body as well.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I mean, for a long time, well, I mean, I struggled with many things in my life, but the main way I always got over everything I was struggling with was, for me anyways, it helped to actually understand the systems and why the hell it was doing what it was doing, why I was reacting the way I was. I mean, scientifically, when you understand why something works, it's much harder to pretend to be ignorant monkey and keep doing it. Because once you understand it, and you know what it's doing to you. Why would you continue to do that? You know
because you
what I
have
mean?
a deep emotional connection to it. And
Well, I know,
this is,
but in
that's
in
my job. That's where
well,
I
yeah,
go.
yeah. In my
Right.
case, I do much
Because
better when I understand something.
people need to soothe themselves. Self-soothing is so important. Even if you look at a baby and you can see them rubbing their faces, or they've got a blanket and they're doing that, all of these little things that we do to soothe ourselves, you twist your hair, you chew your nails. These are all habits that, so smoking is absolutely the worst one. That's the worst one you can soothe yourself with. But when you're feeling anxious, when you are not coming to grips with what you're really feeling, self-soothing is a great way to get comfort without actually confronting the issue, which most of the time, and I'm really, I'm very loving and compassionate to human beings because they just don't know. And even when they know up here, they don't know in here. You're not always dealing with somebody who's 35 or 40 or 50 years old. If this self-soothing habit started maybe when you were 5, or you started smoking when you were 14 or 15 and kids were picking on you and, all of that stuff, or I started smoking when I was 14 because I was that weird kid that wanted to fit in, and smoking was part of that. It's so much more than just knowing. And so you've got the emotions of that 5-year-old or that 14-year-old or that 20-year-old there to deal with, because that's how they coped. So you're not dealing with an adult. The adult is the one who has the habit, but it originated with the kid, and the kid is the one that's got to be addressed.
Mm-hmm.
That's why childhood work is so important. That's why the inner child work is important. And I have a lot of clients that say, well, I came to grips with all of that. And, but then they'll tell me they had a meltdown when something didn't go their way. And I said, like, you're 3, right?
Yeah, somebody told me no.
It's because somebody told me no. Because at that moment, they're not dealing like an adult. They're dealing straight from their 3-year-old self. And that's the only coping mechanism their 3-year-old self has. So in hypnosis, it's kind of my job to bridge those, to find out how the adult that you are, you, the thinker, can bridge those feelings with the child to educate the child and give the child something to hang on to, so that you can kind of, parent yourself in a lot of ways, with mindfulness, with thought, with education, like you say.
And I mean, as you've said, I mean, I should just mention it again, but it is a slow process, and it's a slow process by necessity. So there's no way if you're not getting results in 1 or 2 sessions, I mean, that's like saying I didn't lose weight going to the gym twice. It's the same
But there's
thing.
always results.
Well, I mean,
but the results are really up to
incremental.
your brain. Yeah. What you're looking for are specific results.